Welcome to the embedded system class. So today we are going to discuss about what is communication, what are the different types of communications are there, so how we can interface these communication devices. So data communication is mainly in two types we can communicate the data. So first one is parallel communication. So this is the block diagram of parallel communication. So parallel communication means whatever the data we need to send, we can send at a time. So the main advantage of parallel communication is it is very fast compared to serial communication, because so whatever the data we want to send, we can send within the time period. So within one clock pulse we can send the data. So how many, if we want to transfer 8 bit, we have 8 bytes in parallel communication. So this is it is very fast. Even though it is very fast, we have there are more disadvantages using this parallel communication. So in parallel communication, the circuit complexity is very high. As the number of bits increases to transmit the data, so the number of bytes also increases. So the circuit complexity is very high in parallel communication, and it is not preferable for longer distances. So because number of bytes increases, the circuit complexity also increases. So for long distances, it is not preferable. So we use, in most of the embedded system, we use serial communication. So in serial communication, the data is sent through a single wire. Serially, one by one, we can send the data. So it is slow compared to parallel communication. Even though it is slow, we have more advantages than the parallel communication, because it is the circuit complexity is very less in serial communication, because here we use only a single wire to transmit the data. So whatever the data of if we want to send the 8 data, if we want to send 256 data, 256 bits of data, we can send through a single wire. So serial communication is very much preferable, and it is so these communication devices are these devices have very much advantages than the parallel communication. So the very most advantages, it is very secure, because we can send the data one by one. So it is very we can send the data very securely, and for longer distances we use serial communication. Why? Because we use only a single cable. Through a single wire we can send the data, and it is preferable for longer distances, and the circuit complexity is very less, and serial communication we prefer in embedded system, most of this embedded system. And these serial communication transmitted modes are mainly 3 types, 4 types: network mode, half duplex mode, simplex mode, and full duplex mode. So this is a network mode, and this is a simplex mode. So in simplex mode, so the sender can send the data and receiver can receive the data. So only sender will send the data. It will not receive, this device will not receive the data, whereas receiver can receive the data. So coming to half duplex, sender can send the data and receiver can receive the data. So in half duplex, the data transmission is in bidirectional, but it is not at same time. So data, if one device will send the data, second device can receive the data. If second device wants to send the data, device one will receive the data. So whereas full duplex, it is a bidirectional, and we can send the data at the same time. So both these devices can send the data at the same time, and both the devices can receive the data at the same time. So mobile phones are example for duplex, full duplex devices. So right, so this is a block diagram of how we can send the data in serial. So see, here we use a single cable. So through single cable we can send the data. So serial communication devices are 2 types: synchronous and asynchronous. Asynchronous means independent signals. So these are not depends upon any other signal. So if transmitter wants to send the data, it will send the data. It is not depends upon any signal. So coming to asynchronous signal, synchronous means dependent signal. So these signals depends upon clock signal. So asynchronous interfacing and synchronous interfacing, there are two types of interfacing circuits are there, asynchronous interfacing and synchronous interfacing. So we have studied different types of serial communication ports, so in previous lectures. So we have studied UART, SPI, I2C, and CAN controllers and USB cables. So some of these synchronous serial interface devices are SSI, serial synchronous interface, is a widely used serial interface standards for industrial applications between a master and different types of slaves. So it is a synchronous, so means here the data can be it can send and receive depends upon clock signal. The clock needs its own bandwidth and should be included when determining the total bandwidth required for the communication between the two devices. So SSI and I2C, these two devices are synchronous serial communication devices, whereas in asynchronous serial communication it is a independent signal. So UART is an example for asynchronous interface, serial interface, so where there is no clock signal. So CAN also a asynchronous interface circuit. So UART and CAN protocols are asynchronous interface devices. I2C, SPI are synchronous interface circuits. So if you want to check those internal block diagrams, check my previous lectures. So I will discuss, I discussed serial communication devices, UART, I2C, SPI and CAN and USBs. So out of these five, SPI and I2C are synchronous, and UART and CAN controllers are asynchronous serial interface devices. Thank you so much.